The Wales-Australia game is going to be one of the major deciders for their pool. Unlike the South Africa-Ireland game, it isn't down to who finishes first and who finishes second. It's literally who's going to make it out of the group. If these teams don't pitch up on the day and they don't put in the performances that are needed, they might actually punch their ticket out of the World Cup. It's a very interesting situation in terms of how battle hardened these teams are, and you can basically judge them on. But how did they fare against the Fijians? Wales came out tops. There were controversial decisions. There were a few things that people weren't happy about, and there was the unlucky drop of the ball at the end by Fiji. But that aside, the Wales team put in a massive effort on defence, and it was relentless and it was passionate in terms of how they approached it. Regardless of what the referee did, they actually stood up to that challenge. Man for man, they did that, and they did that throughout the match. So credit should go to them. And when they had the chances, they converted them. Now, the Australians, on the other hand, when they played Fiji, they had their first little sneaky try that they actually got in. For the rest of the game, they were just being bullied. The Fijians ran over them, the Fijians crushed them in tackles. They helped themselves a little bit with their second try, but that was it. They didn't get much closer than that. So this is really going to be a make or break game for both teams. Depending on how this one pans out, it's going to determine what happens to Fiji as well. Fiji will still put up some scores against the other teams that aren't as strong in the group. So there's still so many nuances in terms of what can happen here. However, based on the form book and based on how Wales have been conducting themselves, I didn't think they were in a good position, but they've been growing in confidence, they've been growing in strength, and they are starting to look like a Wales team that we've gotten used to at World Cups, that we've gotten used to, and when they get into tournaments like the Six Nations, I think they're going to put up a decent fight, and I think they're going to pull this one through. And in the end, I actually wouldn't be shocked if it is about a 10-15% or 10-15 point win that they end up with. So looking forward to this one as well. And yeah, that is going to determine the group. So interesting times ahead.